It never gets less awkward to talk to your laptop. Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Gigi and Banani. I have just spent the last 15 minutes trying to find a corner in my room with flattering lighting, after which I realized that my room does in fact not have such a corner. So I'm currently sitting on the floor in the middle of my room. But that's okay, because today is St. Patrick's Day! And in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I'm actually going to talk about a movie called Brooklyn today, which is a very underrated movie, in my opinion, that not a lot of people have seen for some reason, which they should because it's great, and I'm going to try and convince you somehow that it is in this video, and hopefully it works. If not, then sorry. So Brooklyn tells a story about an Irish girl named Ailish. Ailish? She is from a very small town in Ireland, which doesn't have a lot to offer her, so she decides to go abroad in order to get a good paying job, save up some money, and she actually receives a scholarship so she can go to college and learn how to become a bookkeeper, just like her sister. So Ailish gets onto a boat to move to New York City and live and work in Brooklyn, which she is told is a neighborhood in New York City with so many Irish people that it might feel like she's actually in Ireland, even though she's not. At the start of the movie, it doesn't seem like she really wants to go. She's clearly very scared of leaving everything that she knows behind, which is understandable because she is in her early 20s and she doesn't know anything about New York City. Even though she's staying in a host family with mostly Irish girls, she actually misses Ireland a lot. And the whole movie actually revolves around her homesickness and her confusion. So throughout the first part of the movie, she is actually completely miserable, which is something that I can relate to, believe it or not, as I, in September 2017, got onto a plane to spend half a year in Belfast, Northern Ireland. And I remember getting onto that plane and thinking, why am I doing this? I don't know anything about Belfast. I am perfectly happy here in Groningen and I don't see any reason for me to move, but I pushed myself to do it because I knew it was going to be a great experience. But in that moment that I got onto the plane, and when I got off the plane, I had no idea what I was doing, and I felt lost and I felt alone because I had no friends there. I didn't have my parents there, and this stayed like this for the first couple of days. It was actually the first time in my life that I was completely by myself and dependent on myself, and I was extremely scared, which is something that I recognize in Ailish as well. During her first couple of weeks there, she doesn't really have friends. Her host family forces her to go to these Irish dances, where she then sits awkwardly and doesn't talk to anyone. But one night she meets Tony, who asks her to dance at one of these dances, and they dance and they have a connection, and afterwards Tony confesses to her that he's in fact not Irish and that he was not supposed to be at this dance at all, and that he's Italian, but he has a thing for Irish girls. And this is an interesting moment in the movie because this is actually the first time that we see Ailish be happy, and she starts joking around, and she clearly has a crush on Tony too. Obviously, it being a movie, they fall in love and blah 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 blah. As soon as Ailish starts to get more comfortable in her life in New York City, as she now has a boyfriend who is completely in love with her and treats her like a princess, something terrible happens. One day when she's at work in the department store, she sees the priest walk in. The priest tells her that her sister has passed away. Eventually she decides to go back home for a month. But before she leaves New York City, Tony actually asks her to marry him because it seems like he doesn't trust her that she will come back. But when Ailish gets back home in Ireland, she doesn't actually tell her mom or anyone that she got married, which of course gets her into trouble when her friend and her mom are actually trying to set her up with an Irish guy. During her time in Ireland, She actually takes over her sister's job as a bookkeeper because she's now studied and she knows how to do it. Ailish now finds herself being torn between New York life and Ireland life, which is ironic because before she left, there was absolutely nothing there for her. I'm not going to spoil the rest of the movie. You're just going to have to watch it for yourself to find out where she chooses to go in the end. But it's 100% worth it, trust me. So I hope to have convinced you to watch this movie. Especially watch this movie if you've ever spent time abroad like me. Also watch this movie if you have a thing for Irish accents like I do. Or Italian guys, because Tony is very charming and will definitely steal your heart, and if not him, one of his other 5 brothers will. Thank you for watching, and I hope you like this video. I hope you like Brooklyn if you decide to watch it. If not, then okay. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.